Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq, with daily insight on the Nasdaq-100 index, or the NDX, which is made up of 100 of the largest domestic and international non-financial innovative companies listed on Nasdaq. The NDX has been the barometer for U.S. large cap growth and also one of the best performing indexes over the last decade and a half, not to mention one of the most liquid index ecosystems in the world. Joining us this Monday afternoon, we have Chris Dearborn, Managing Director on Nasdaq's Market Intelligence Desk, for an update on levels to watch in the Nasdaq-100 as we kick off the week higher across the board with the Nasdaq-100 outperforming. And Chris, pretty strong start for a Monday, the beginning of April.
It really is. We've seen nicely 3 strong weeks of gains, putting the index on a nice trajectory for potentially a great start to the quarter. We're looking at how things are panning out. And again, you still got the 3 major factors figuring into this move, inflation, rates and the soft landing, and of course the conflict in Ukraine. That's not going to go away for an extended period of time. So that being said, you've got some good news out of China, kind of moving stocks here today, as well as a number of individual items for the tech space, which bodes very, very well for the Nasdaq-100.
And Chris, if we take a look at your chart here, let's get a fresh update on technical levels to watch, because to your point, we really have been on quite a run for the past 2 to 3 weeks.
Absolutely. We talked about a couple of different levels last week, and it's all kind of coming into fruition. You've got the V bottom coming out from the middle of March. You've broken through a number of different resistance levels, including the 50-day moving average, a couple of Fibonacci retracement levels, all going from resistance to support in the index. And today, we're testing and flirting again with the 200-day moving average. Now, last week, we talked about the 200-day as a target, and we hit that number midweek. Last week, that number was 15,125, the 200-day. Today, it's 15,150 because we did trade above it early in the week, but we did fall back a little bit towards week's end. But again, a positive move for the week. So right now, we're looking at, we opened at 14,903. We want to stay above that level, obviously keep this candle green. We've got about 55 minutes left before the close. We're trading right near the highs of the day, which coincides with the moving average. Let's see if this 15,150 number will turn into a resistance area, or will gain a little momentum and get some support here and break through over the days to come. Target on this move is 15,315 if we can break through the 200-day over the next couple of days. The index for the last week has been range bound, 14,735 versus 15,265 as that upper band. I'd like to see that penetrate the upper band over the next week or so. We got a little bit of time before earnings come into play, but more importantly, we've got the Fed minutes coming out Wednesday, and that's kind of important because we're going to get some details on what the governors are thinking about the balance sheet runoff there.
Right. And Chris, finally, let's take a look at your last chart here with the constituents that are contributing to the outperformance that we see today.
Right. We got nearly 80 members doing very, very well. A lot of the internet names, as you imagine, and the China names, PDD and Baidu, all doing very, very well. JD.com as well. Tesla's also having a monster day, up nearly 6%. Okta's up nearly 8%. Netflix up 5%. Big winners. You're not talking about 1 or 2 percentage gains. You're talking multiple companies with 3% or more gains, with a couple on the higher end north of 5%. Really going to drive the index here. And on the detractors, really not much to speak of. Moderna, Starbucks with the management change there. Howard's back. We're glad to see him. He's a big friend of Nasdaq, and we love him. He suspended the buyback for the moment. Probably just want to take a deeper look into what's going on and get his hands around it as he steps back into the management role. Look for that stock to pivot as well to the plus side soon.
All right, Chris, appreciate the insight as always. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq.